If you've been trying to quit porn, or maybe just thinking about it, you're probably very familiar with the topic of this video: excuses. Excuses. They come in all shapes and sizes, and when you're struggling with addiction, they can feel so convincing. But here's the thing, you're not alone in this. Every addict has heard these same excuses rattling around in their heads at some point, so today we're gonna break them down one by one and expose them for what they really are: bullshit. And at the end of this video, you'll realize how silly you were for coping that much. Number 1, it's not that bad. I could be addicted to worse things. This is one of the most classic excuses, right? The old, at least it's not drugs or alcohol excuse. You tell yourself that in the grand scheme of things, your porn addiction is harmless compared to what other people might be doing. Here's the reality. Your addiction is a drug one, and a drug one could easily destroy your life if you let it. It doesn't matter whether it's porn, gambling, or heroin. If it's controlling your life, it's a problem. It changes the way your brain works by hijacking your reward system. And just like with any addiction, it escalates. You might start with softcore porn, but over time you'll crave more extreme material to get the same dopamine hit. It becomes harder to stop, and the consequences pile up, whether it's erectile dysfunction, relationship issues, or just feeling empty and numb. Admit that your addiction is a problem, and that's the first step to getting help. Acknowledge that even though porn might not seem as dangerous as other addictions, it can still have long-lasting impacts on your mental health, your relationships, and your sense of self-worth. Number 2, I can quit anytime I want. This excuse makes you feel like you're still in control. I'm not really addicted, I just enjoy it. And if I wanted to, I could quit anytime. It's like convincing yourself you're fine because you're choosing to indulge. If you're telling yourself you can quit anytime, but you haven't quit yet, well, that's the addiction talking. It thrives on denial, making you believe that you're still in control when, in reality, it's calling the shots. If you've tried quitting before and failed, or if you find yourself constantly justifying your habit, then it's clear. You're not as in control as you think. Start by admitting the truth. You're not in control right now, but that doesn't mean you can't be. Acknowledging that addiction has power over you is the first step toward reclaiming that power. Once you accept that you're struggling, you can take the necessary steps to actually quit, like subscribing to this channel and watching its first video. Number 3, everyone does it. Pornography is everywhere. It's so normalized in today's culture that it's easy to tell yourself, why bother quitting? Everyone else is doing it, so it's not a big deal. You might even have friends who brag about their porn habits, reinforcing the idea that it's just a normal part of life. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's healthy or normal. The fact that many people use it doesn't make it any less addictive or harmful. In fact, the widespread nature of porn use makes it even harder to quit because it feels so normalized. But make no mistake, this addiction will still wreak havoc on your mental health, relationships, and self-esteem, regardless of how many other people are doing it. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that just because everyone does it, it's okay. Remember that your journey is your own, and quitting porn is about improving your quality of life, not about conforming to what society thinks is normal. Be the one who steps out of the cycle, even if it feels like everyone else is trapped in it. In fact, you should pity them as much as they envy you when you find the strength to not watch it. Number 4, I'll quit when I'm in a relationship. You might believe that once you're in a romantic relationship, your addiction will naturally disappear. After all, you'll be having real sex, so why would you need it? This is one of the most dangerous lies because it puts your recovery in the hands of someone else. The truth is, relationships don't cure addiction. In fact, many people in relationships still struggle with porn addiction because the root of the problem, how your brain is wired to seek out that dopamine hit, remains unresolved. If anything, your addiction can harm your relationship by creating unrealistic expectations or reducing your interest in your partner. That's why you should work on quitting before you get into a relationship. Recovery is an inside job. You can't rely on external factors, like a partner, to fix your addiction. Plus, by quitting beforehand, you'll be in a much healthier emotional and mental space when you do enter a relationship, which will improve its chances of success. Number 5, I'll never have a girlfriend anyway. This one comes from a place of deep insecurity. You might feel like you're not good enough, attractive enough, or socially skilled enough to ever have a girlfriend. So you think, what's the point of quitting porn? It's not like I'll ever have a real relationship. This excuse is rooted in low self-esteem, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you rely on pornography, the more you avoid real social interactions and intimacy. It creates a false sense of fulfillment and numbs your drive to seek out real relationships. Over time, it can actually decrease your confidence and social skills, making it harder to connect with others. The truth is, you're the only one cutting yourself off from the possibility of love and intimacy by staying in this cycle. Plus, quitting porn will actually improve your chances of finding a girlfriend. Because without that poison fogging up your mind, you'll have more clarity, confidence, and energy to put into real-life connections. You'll be more present, more in tune with your emotions, and more likely to form genuine bonds with others. So instead of coping and believing that love is out of reach, start building yourself up and working on social skills and self-worth. Now, consider escaping from your addiction the first step in creating the life and the relationships you want. There you have it. Every one of these excuses is a lie that holds you back from the life you deserve. Whether you're telling yourself that you'll never have a girlfriend or that you want to stay miserable, these excuses are keeping you in a cycle of pain. But you don't have to stay stuck. You're way stronger than you think. Every time you face one of these excuses, you have the power to see it for what it is, a lie. And once you start challenging these excuses, you're already dashing on the path to recovery. If you've been using any of those, it's time to let them go. Start fresh today. If you like this video, you can hit that like button. And if you find yourself coping again, let me know why in the comments section. Stay strong, talk to you soon.